So a lot of you guys are getting it in gear. You guys are coming out here, but you have some questions about how to get started. I'm gonna see if I can answer a few. Of the tubiest, the best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. And I'm 50 plus. So, Glock Guy commented, where is it? You're really a nice guy? No, I'm really not. But, you know, thanks for saying that. From what I see, yes, right, because you don't see the whole me. Nah, I've tried to be good sometimes. I'm looking to become a driver next year. Do you have any good tips? Yeah. Tip number one, do it. You know, if I don't care what it is that you guys want to do for a living, you know, as long as it's a constructive thing and you will become a positive part of society, do it. Do not allow anybody to deter you from your dreams, okay? Get after it. I don't care what it is, man. The only thing for your dudes, the only thing that you cannot do is give birth. That's it. Other than that, you can do whatever you want to do. Put your mind to it. Get your plan, get your goals set, reachable goals, and then go out there and get her done, okay? But in this particular instance, you guys are asking me questions about getting started in trucking, and I'm gonna just summarize my journey, okay? Everybody's journey isn't the same, okay? My journey. None of my actual relatives ever were truck drivers. My best friend, we grew up together, he was a truck driver, and he passed away, and other than that, I don't have anybody drove trucks, okay? So I had to get into this industry pretty much with no real knowledge of this industry. I do have a very good business sense, a business mind. I'm an entrepreneur, and I've done very well in business, but I know how to vet the process and trust the process. So I'm going to give you my process, what I did, okay? And again, this has come from somebody who never didn't have anybody else to turn to, okay? So I'm talking to you guys just like you were me. The very first thing you need to do is make up in your mind that you're going to do it, okay? That's it. Make up in your mind that you're going to do it. You know, get off the fence. Then it's time to set goals. Decide what it is that you want out of trucking, okay? Know in your heart if you are a entrepreneur, you have entrepreneur spirit, or it's okay to be a company driver. That's perfectly fine. You know, I think a lot of people get in this industry believing that the end game should be owning your own truck. And that's just not the case for everybody. That would be the same thing as saying, okay, well, you know, you worked at McDonald's as a teenager, so that means you need to go, you know, reinvent the burger and start a burger franchise. You know, just because you work someplace don't mean you need to own it. So it's okay to be a company driver, but you determine what direction that you eventually want to do, okay? And in which way you want to do it. For instance, I knew that I was getting into this to be a helped my son build a heavy haul business. So I knew heavy haul was where I was going to end up. And that's where I set my top tier goal for. That was my end game. And then it was finding a company that could help me get there. So whatever company it was, it had to have a flatbed division. I didn't necessarily have to start in the flatbed division, but I eventually get there because I needed to learn flatbed and securement. So immediately, that would cross out quite a few companies if they don't have a flatbed division that takes them out. The next thing I wanted to find out of how I was going to address the part of getting my CDL. And I could have gone to a community college, paid the community college for the school and pay for it in cash, and then got out and had my CDL. I don't owe anybody anything. The problem at that point is you have to find a job. And I learned through reaching out to the companies that I was interested in that it would ask me to go through their school, because you would have already been vetted by that company, and more likely than not, unless you lied on your application, they find out about it later, you would be hired, so you would get a job. And it was out of two companies, Swift and Prime was my two, and I chose Swift because they would get me to my end game quickest. They would get me behind the wheel solo the fastest. And I knew that I wasn't going to be there, you know, as a career for long term. So I needed to get to my solo driving as quickly as possible. And that's why I ended up with Swift. And on that note, a lot of people talk really, really bad about Swift. And I can tell you right now, and I've said it on numerous occasions, and I'll continue to say it, that that's all a bunch of bullshit. All you got to do is be good. You know, be the Patriots and let half the country hate you because you win all the time. The same thing with them. They win a lot. That's why they're the biggest ones. They win. They're good at what they do. They couldn't be as bad as people say they are and be as successful as they are. Come on. Doesn't even make sense, okay? So, the class was 3 weeks, and then you're out. You got your CDL. And then you're only behind the wheel with a mentor for 200 hours, and then you solo. And quite frankly, if you don't know how to drive a truck and somebody taught you how to do it in 200 hours, you don't need to be driving one. So I went with Swift. And before I went to school, I studied and passed my permit tests. So when I showed up to school, I already had my learner's permit, your permit CDL, okay? I used CDL test, I think it's a CDL Test Pro or something like that. It's an app. And I did purchase it. You can go to that CDL test app and do a free version of it. My suggestion is you just go ahead and purchase it. It's not very much money, but purchase it, because if you do that, you're going to get more questions, and you're going to get all of these tests that you can take along the way, and it'll help you to get it down. And when you go through the test, about 90% of your test is going to be questions that you've reviewed on that app, okay? So that's what I did. So I showed up to school, I already had my learner's permit. The reason you really want to do that is because once you get to wherever you're going, whatever location you're going to take that to get your training, to get your CDL, they're only going to give you a few chances to pass that test. If you don't pass it, you go back home. So don't start off under pressure. Show up, already ready to go, okay? I told you why I chose Swift to get started. You don't have to choose them. You can choose whoever you want, but the first thing you need to do is determine what it is that you want out of trucking. And if it's you want to drive tanker, you want to drive flatbed, you want to drive reefer, find out what it is that you want. And your first choice, your second choice, your third choice. Your first choice would be, let's say, reefer. Your second choice would be, let's say, tanker. Your third choice would be dry van, and then maybe flatbed. Let's just use that for those four as an example. Then you need to find a company that can at least achieve your first two goals. And if it was reefer and tanker, then right off the bat, I know that Prime will fit that bill and help you to get your CDL. You can be broke if you ain't got no money. You still can go to Prime and get your CDL. If you want to do dry van, refrigerated, flatbed, Swift is absolutely a good place to go. You can be broke. They're gonna send you to school, and when you get done, then they'll take the money out for the school over time. And they have a sign-on bonus that actually counters what you're paying for the school. As I did when I left Swift, I owed them $375, something like that. That's all I paid out of pocket for my CDL. Okay, so if you've written those things down, eliminate companies out of your choices that will not fit that bill, and it's going to narrow down your options of company. Then reach out to that company. Okay, some questions that you may want to ask them about the per diem program. Ask them about their insurance, and if they could, send you some information about the insurances that they offer. That way you can, and they should be willing to do that. They should be willing to send you the breakdown of insurance so that you can see what if you went to work for that company, what it would cost you to insure yourself and the people who you are responsible for insuring. Okay. Do you want to be OTR driver? You want to find out if they got some regional positions? You may want to find out if they got some locals. Whatever it is that you want, write those things down and ask those questions to the recruiter. If possible, if you can't record the conversation, write it down. Okay? I'm not saying that you can record that conversation and then use it as a tool later, but you can always go back and listen to that conversation again and find out what maybe you misheard, rather than accusing them of lying to you. Okay, or maybe you didn't ask the right question. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't call them back and say, you said this, and say, no, I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. I recorded you. That don't work. That don't work at all. Don't do that. I'm saying that you couldn't do that. Just for your own knowledge, just make sure that you didn't make a mistake and misheard what they were telling you. Okay, and you also want to make sure that you did ask all the questions that you wanted. And if you didn't, when you listen to that conversation, you go, oh, I didn't ask this, I didn't ask the other things, and questions may pop up later. If questions pop up later, by the way, and you call your recruiter and you don't get much feedback from that recruiter, that's not a good sign. It is not a good sign. It's typical, but it ain't a good sign, man. Okay, when I say it's typical, damn near expect poor communication between you and the recruiter. I know it sounds jacked up, but that's the fact, man. My recruiter at Swift was Autumn, and she was freaking awesome. Everybody loved her, man. She was the bomb, man. I mean, she would actually get back with you. She's no longer a recruiter. She does something different now, but for me, it was a cakewalk. I mean, throughout the whole process. And I'm hoping that it'll be that way for you. But also, how long you're going to be out? How does the bonus structures work? What type of incentive programs do they offer? And also make sure that those incentive programs are something that you can actually reach. Some of them are mileage based, and they sound real good. You say, well, I can do, average 2,500 miles a week, and then I'll get this bonus in 3 months. Can you drive 3,000 miles a week? Can you get in 3,000 miles a week? Because you're going to need 3,000 miles a week if you're going to average 2,500 a week, because I guarantee you're going to have a 1,500 mile week in that month. Guaranteed that. That's the way it's going to be. So you need to make sure that whatever they're offering as incentives are things that that are reachable. Okay. If they tell you something that is too good to be true, it probably is. And so discount that. Don't act like that's going to be a part of your pay structure. And let's face it, when people say, oh, you just out here for the money, what the hell else am I out here for? Anybody tell you that, when you get into this, you just can't be in just for the money. Why not? Hell, that's what this work. Who the hell go to work ain't for the money? Man, this is dumb. Don't fall for that craziness. We out here to get paid, man. As much time as you spend away from your family, you better get paid to be away from your family. So yeah, money is very important. Okay. Outside of insurances, you may want to ask if they train with automatic trucks, or can you get can you take a test in a manual and have an unrestricted license? Very few companies are doing that now. You have to go to independent or like a college or something to do that. And also in that case, if they ask them if they have tuition reimbursements, because you might have a CDL, maybe to go to college, community college, to get your CDL. Ask them if they have tuition reimbursements. Melton does $5,000 up to $5,000. They will reimburse you for school. What type of equipment do they have? How old is the equipment? You want to find out how fresh the fleet is. Swift keep a pretty new, pretty fresh tractor fleet. Their trailers, however, oh my God, wow. As big as that company is, man, they struggle with trailers all the time. But that's the question you want to find out. You want to know what kind of equipment they have. Also, spend some time, drive through some truck stops, big ones like TA's, Petro, Love's, like that. Drive through and look at the trucks in that parking lot. And if you see an old raggedy trucks with that company's name on them, then maybe that recruiter's lying to you. It's just a little bit of due diligence, okay? Those are just some basic questions. And as you start talking to the recruiter, you'll get, other questions will come up in your mind, and things that are important to you in life, like, pets. What's their pet policy? What's their rider policy? Maybe the wife wants to come ride with you, Find out these things if those things are important to you. Bottom line is, before you get started in this industry, make sure you get off on good footing so that you don't, that first year is crucial. You want to be able to get through that first year with the company that you start with, so you can get at least 1 full year. I would say 13 months at minimum with that company before you jump ship, okay? At least you would have satisfied your obligation to them. And very few companies actually have a contract that says that you must drive with them for a certain period of time. It's basically, they want to get their money back from the school that they spent helping you get the CDL. Okay, that's what real big deal is. Okay, so you just want to make sure that the company you choose, you can be there with them, you can tolerate whatever it is there. Because I guarantee you, once you get in there and you become an employee and you start driving, you're going to start learning some things about the company that you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have known, asked those questions, and you're just going to figure them out along the way. And then you will make another determination, in about 3 months, whether or not you really like being there or not. So I want you to make sure that the pros far outweigh the cons, so that you can at least do that year. Now, after that 13th month, you might decide to go to a company that will help you further your goal. Okay, help you get to your end game, and you will be surprised at the amount of pay you will get with that 1 year of experience, because it's going to go up. Okay, faster. A new company will hire you on higher pay than the company that you're working with will increase your pay, and that's just where it is. Okay, so keep those things in mind. I hope that, I'm at 21 minutes right now, so I'm trying to not go too long with this deal. Plus, I ramble. If there's any other things that I've missed, you guys that has experience or gone through the process, drop those comments down below so others can read those comments, and it might help them. I mean, based off of questions that you would suggest they ask a recruiter when they're coming aboard, and you guys will be just fine. The main thing is to get up off your bum and come on out here and do it. If you are struggling right now, you're out of work, maybe the industry you're in is suffering real bad, food industry, for instance, and you want to change. This does not have to necessarily be a permanent change, but you can come out here and earn a living for your family in short order. In short order. When I say that, I mean 3 months of training, 1 month on a mentor's truck, and you are fully a truck driver, making enough income to send home to your family, and to get that pride back, get that manhood back. We feel sometimes less than a man when we're not doing what we can for our family, and it maybe not be by your own choice. The industry you're in may have shut down. Oil fields, you better be making some damn good money in oil fields, and those jobs are drying up. This is an option. Okay, if you guys don't mind doing a little manual labor, I want to highly suggest flatbed, because open deck drivers pays a little much better, put it that way, and sky's the limit when you come down to flatbed open deck. Okay, so if that's an option for you, you have a CDL, you're going to go to community college or something like that to get your CDL, give Melton a call. I have a link down there. Click that link and write those questions down first, because they'll contact you within 24 hours. So write those questions down. Okay, don't just keep them in your head. Write down those questions that I just mentioned to you, so that way when you get them on the phone, you can go down that list and then fill in those blanks. Okay, but it's basically contact information. Just put in your contact information. It's not a long ass application. Okay, they'll send that to you later. You just need to. They just need to talk to you. You talk to them, and be able to explain any employment gaps and stuff like that to any company. But flatbed is not hard. It's not near as hard as people may think. They lead you to believe that tarping and securement is this horrible process to keep you out of. Every time I tarp a load, they pay me an additional $70. I don't mind. Trust me, a lot of these places got tarp machine. They still get paid $70. Don't let the people tell you that crazy stuff, man. Come on out here, and bring some fuel. Get with a good company. This one's good. Again, Prime is good. Swift is really good. Do not let people lie and tell you that it's not, because it is. Every shoe don't fit. You know, you might get over here and try flatbed and it ain't good for you. Then you go, oh, Melton trucks. No, Melton, that sucks. It does not. It's just that flatbed wasn't good for you. Okay? Swift does not suck. Maybe OTR, maybe it's not your cup of tea. You know? Maybe big, huge companies like that is not what you like. You know? But don't mean that the companies are bad, right? So now 25 minutes is long enough. Again, if I missed some good questions to ask a recruiter, guys, please put them down below. Share them with the rest of the UBists, okay? Let's help them get out here and make the right decision to pick the company that's going to be best for you. By the way, if you guys hadn't watched my, haven't gone and subscribed to my cooking channel yet, do that. This weekend, I'm going to upload some more cooking videos. Some of them are going to be me cooking on the truck, and I hope you'll enjoy it. The link is down below. Go to my cooking channel, like and subscribe. Let's grow that channel. And I'll give you some good stuff to cook. Make your belly fat. Till I see you again, deliver undistracted. And here's your boop. Boop.